What's up YouTube, this is Collect Pokemon and welcome back to another video. Yeah, before we start the video, remember to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. We're trying to get that 10K. Second thing is that we're going to do a live video tomorrow showing our matchless fighter breaks because some people have bought in and we're going to do the opening tomorrow night. The usual time. So what we're going to talk about today is a little bit of a Collect Pokemon's thoughts. It's a little bit of my reflection, my insight, a bit of history, a bit of possible investment in the future. Even though I said possible, remember these are just entertainment purpose. I'm not telling you to invest, but here we go. Today we're really gonna address the issue of this little guy. Whoop! Mario Pikachu. Mario Pikachu and Luigi Pikachu is a set that is released back in 2016 or early 2017. I think it was kind of like that March period of 2017. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head. Did they say anything? It says 2016, so it might be 2016. So what was Mario Pikachu and what was Luigi Pikachu and how much was it when it was released? Well, Mario and Pikachu and Luigi Pikachu, just kind of dropped out of nowhere. We know that there were some notice that told us that it was going to be released. I still remember, I think, at its release, or actually, I was in Japan just a few days before the release. So I wasn't actually physically there during the release. But I was actually at Fukuoka, I think. Yeah, so there is a Pokemon Center there. I was at Fukuoka, and I was just kind of waiting for it to release. And I was like, but because I had work, I couldn't stay that long, so couldn't wait for the release. But back then, it was quite a good set. I mean, back then Pokemon was not that hot. You can actually still purchase a lot of special, unique products simply by walking into the Pokemon Center. Yep, walking in. So during my stay there, I actually walked in and bought around 20 boxes of the Poncho Rayquaza Pikachu box. Yep. And basically, back then I was a flipper. I mean, I flipped a lot of cards so that I can actually, fund my collection. And initially I was actually quite a not so intelligent flipper actually. What I did back then was that, there was a website called Throw and Toe. Actually, it's still there. Back then, Throw and Toe actually bought a lot of Japanese cards. And, when you sell to them and you want the store credit, you can actually get like that 35% or 25% extra if you want store credit. So, being that, collect Pokemon, I press my calculator. So what I would do is I would actually submit a buy list to Throw and Toad and say, oh, hey, I have 10 copies of that Rayquaza Pikachu and the two versions, so basically 20 individual cards. And then I would go into Pokemon Center, I would buy, 20 boxes of it, and then what I would do is I would open it and just get the single cards, and then basically I would just send the single cards to Throw and Toad to get those credits. And then I would use those credits to fund my Legendary Collection Reverse Holo collection. So I would use those to fund my purchase. So back then that's what I did. So yeah, I mean, I know you guys are gonna say, hey, the Throw and Toe buy price are really below market. Yeah, I was, but then back then, it was quick, it was easy, and I didn't have to really think about it. All I have to do was click a few buttons. I don't have to individually deal with eBay sales and all this kind of stuff. So back then I was like, not bad. Not a lot of effort, not a high return, but not bad. So back then I did that. So yeah, the Rayquaza box, the Poncho box, you can actually go in to the Pokemon Center, just grab as many as you can. Doesn't really matter. Grab as many. There was also the Charizard one. Grab as many, but I only bought 4. So that's pretty much back then. And when Mario and Luigi Pikachu was released, it was the same. And it was actually even worse because, Charizard, Poncho, Pikachu, people liked it. Rayquaza, popular Pokemon, people liked it. Mario Pikachu, what? Why are you mixing a uncle, a boomer, something that represent like old people with, that little cute Pikachu? It was just, people just didn't like it. People just didn't think it would be a thing back then. So because of that, it kind of sat on the shelf for a very, very long time. And here I was back in Hong Kong, and then I was like, maybe I should get some of them. So, I call up some people and say, hey, you help people buy things from Japan, right? Can I get like 40 of these boxes? And yeah, so they just ship 40 bucks to me easily. And then later on, I'm like, not bad. And I'm seeing the price go up on eBay. And so I started selling it. And while I'm selling it and listing it on eBay, I told the guy, hey, see if you can get me more. And then they were like, oh, maybe, maybe. And then, they did get me more eventually, but it was only, I think it was only 10 more boxes. I did ask for more, but it was actually sold out after like 2 or 3 months after the release. It wasn't like sold out, boom, right away. So yeah. So how much did I bought it for? Or how much did I actually, bought it for? I think I bought it for around 18 US dollar per box. Back then, the MSRP for the Mario and Luigi was the same price. It wasn't Mario more expensive than Luigi. So it was around that $18 mark that I bought it at. But the original release price, I think it was around 12 US dollar. That was the MSRP, around 12 US dollar. Bought it for a little bit more expensive. So yeah, I was happy. It wasn't too expensive. I flipped a lot of them at around 200 US dollar. So that was really good. And then I started to see the price continue to increase. And that's like, hey, wait a second. Wait a second. So I stopped selling them and I kept some. And that's where we are now. When we look at the price of the Mario and Luigi Pikachu sealed box, we're seeing the Luigi going for around 2,200 to 2,500, and we're seeing the Mario Pikachu going for around 3,000 to, was it 2,500 to 3,000. So we're seeing the price of those around that price range. Can you believe it? It's like, wait, I'm just gonna just randomly divide. It's like it went up 138 times in 5 years. Crazy, huh? Yeah, crazy world. So why am I really talking about this card? And I really want to revisit this card because I think that it has potential to grow. And even though I tell you that there's potential to grow, I'm not telling you guys to buy it because I know it is expensive. It is some very, very expensive cards, in my opinion. But I do think that there is room to grow because Nintendo will start to do a lot of things to hype up Mario again. Yes. So first, let me tell you something that had opened in Japan recently. That is the Nintendo World from the Universal Studio. So basically, Universal Studio Japan has opened a special area, a special land that is a Super Nintendo land. And that Super Nintendo land is filled with Mario and all those Mario characters. You have your Peach, you have your Wario, you have your Mushroom, you have your Toad. I don't mean mushroom and toad. So, you have all these sort of characters that, people are going crazy about. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, hey, collect Pokemon. We can't go on holiday. The hype is not really going to come. Is it? Well, apparently they're going to make the same, themed area in Orlando in 2025. So I think that, they resume building it. They're currently building it and it's scheduled to complete in 2025. So what we're going to see is we're going to see that Super Nintendo Land hit US. Would it be a hit? No one knows. I think it would be because of the nostalgic feeling that people have with, Mario. So I do feel that anything to do with Mario is likely to become popular. And there is also one more thing. There is likely to be a movie that is going to be released in 2022 with Mario and Luigi. And if that happens, all these old boomer like me will take our kids, I don't have kids yet, but just saying, will take their kids to, watch these movie and say, oh, look, this is what your dad grew up on, or this is what your mom played, or, these are the games that we liked back then. So I do think that it's gonna bring some new blood. It's gonna bring some new interest. It's gonna bring that nostalgic feeling for people. And if we are merging, if Nintendo's plan is to, bring and mix the different fans in the different IPs together, what is better than Mario Pikachu and Luigi Pikachu? I mean, Pokemon is such a hit. And then if Mario becomes a hit, what would happen about Mario and Pikachu together? It would be a super hit. So that is why I think that, the Mario and Luigi Pikachu might likely still have a lot of room to grow because it is just so unique, and it is so unique and iconic for many, many different generations. For boomers, we grew up with that Mario. For the, millennials or early millennial, we grew up with Pikachu. So, that cross generation kind of thing just really punch it for me. And when we look at the PSA 10 graded version, there's only around 500 of each of the 4 cards. And compared to the Screen Pikachu, which has like 800, 900 copies, it's even more unique. It's even more rare. And you can say that, hey, collect Pokemon. You said there's 500 each. Well, that means that 500 times 4, that's like 2,000. 2,000 copies. People who have deep pockets and want to collect this is not gonna collect one card. They're gonna collect the full set. So even though there's 2,000, in theory there's only 500 sets. So we often just need to look at that lowest number, because that is that number that most hardcore collector will try to collect the full set. And so yeah, if you have a copy of it, that's great. If you have a set, that's even better. But if you only have like a single PSA 10 copies of the, baby Mario, or what I call the non-full art Mario, keep it. Because I do feel that eventually if people want to complete a set, every single piece will go up in price. And yeah, that's pretty much that. And I think that having a 4-piece collection is a lot easier to collect than a 5-piece collection like the Scream set. So I think that if people were to choose, or if you only have limited fund, sometimes what people would do is they would just buy the Scream Pikachu and they would leave the other 4. And for the Mario set, there isn't that just one you can buy. So I do believe that collectability wise, it's quite strong. So yeah, that's pretty much what this video is about. It's me talking about Mario and Luigi Pikachu, some history, some of my thoughts, and what I think is going to happen, in the upcoming 2 to 3 years, or the mid to 5 years. I think 5 year would be a safe bet. In terms of investment, in terms of future. That's it. Remember, not an investment video. I'm not telling you to invest, because there is a high risk associated with buying a product with such a high price tag at this moment. That's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.